Addicts, it's Joe with Black Box Silver and Bronze, and I've got a nice stack of comics that I picked up this weekend and a few I got in the mail. Let's check them out. Hey, comic addicts, I had big plans this weekend to work in my yard and chop some wood. I've got all these logs I've got to chop up into firewood. It was raining on Saturday, just coming down. So I didn't want to stay in the house all day. And I searched up comic book stores I hadn't been to, not too far. And I found a couple of comic stores in Huntsville, Alabama, which was about a 2-hour drive. So I decided I'm going to go down there and hit these comic book stores. So I hit 2 comic book stores in Huntsville, Alabama, and I got some great stuff. One of the stores is just outside of Huntsville in Madison, Alabama. It's called The Haven. Small store, lots of wall books, fair amount of back issues, and a couple of dollar boxes. And it's well organized. And so at this place, I found this in the dollar box. This is the Maze Agency number 21. And this is a great, fun story. It's detective stories, and it's got good art. And the first 7 issues are the ones you really want to look for if you like Adam Hughes art, because he does the covers and I think the interior art as well on the first 7 issues of Maze Agency. So this is Innovation Comics. The first 7 issues were done with Comico, and then it transitioned over to this. So I was happy to find that. And then I also found some old Usagi Yojimbo. This is Dark Horse run. And I was able to find a 4-issue run, which you see down here. It says Grass Cutter 2, Journey to Atsuta Shrine. And one of the things that I really like about Stan Sakai's stories is when he does them over multiple issues. They're really good. They're well thought out, and you learn a lot of the history of Japan. So this was before it was colorized. It's all black and white stories in here, but this is the prologue to that story. And then I found issue number 40, okay, which is chapter 1 of that story. And issue number 41, chapter 2 of the story. And the 4th and final issue, which is issue 42, which was chapter 3 of the Grass Cutter 2 story. So I'm looking forward to reading that. That's a character that I've really come to like as I started picking up the most recent run. The first thing I found when I walked in the door of this store on the rack right in front of me was a promo comic I've been looking for. This is Spider-Man and the Incredible Hulk, the Great Rodeo Robbery. This was an insert in a Texas newspaper. And you can see up here, this across the top, it'll tell you this one is from the San Antonio. Is it the San Antonio Express? Yeah, the San Antonio Express. And there's another version of this, which I think was in a Houston newspaper. And then there are some other different stories as well. There's about 4 or 5 of these that they put in the Sunday paper. So I was really psyched to find that one. I've been looking for these. You don't see them that much. And then, the biggest book I got at this particular store was Blue Beetle number 4. And so this is a Silver Age issue. There were several volumes of Blue Beetle before this. This might be the 3rd or 4th volume of Blue Beetle, but very high grade. It could use a little press. There's a little bit of dings up here that could definitely be pressed out, but it's a very beautiful presenting copy. That is Steve Ditko art on the cover. And the interior has 2 stories. The first half of the book is Blue Beetle, and it's all Steve Ditko art and story. And the second half of the book is The Question, and it's all Steve Ditko art and story. So I was really happy to have this. They had about 4 or 5 issues of Blue Beetle. One of them I already had. The other ones one of them was just really low grade, and the others were too expensive. But this one was right in the sweet spot. So that was from the Haven. Now, in Huntsville, Alabama, the other place I went to was called The Deep. This store is fantastic. You walk in there, they have really nice wall books, a long wall of wall books. And then up near the wall and the cash register, they have this little alcove with a bunch of boxes of comics that are the the older books, the Golden Age and Silver Age and Bigger Keys. And then out in the store, it's a huge store. And out in the store, they have rows and rows and rows of back issues and this really long wall of the new comics. So there's plenty to do. You could spend a lot of time there. So I dug through all of the boxes that were up by the cash register. There's probably about 15 to 18 of those short boxes, maybe 20. And I found some really good stuff. And then I went, it's well organized. They have the little dividers with the tabs on the top, and everything is labeled. It's all alphabetical, easy to find what you want. So after I dug through every box up front, I went and looked for some specific stuff in the back. And one of the specific things that I'm looking for that I hardly ever find at any comic book stores is Orion. Now, this is issue number 4. Orion is a series that Walt Simonson did for DC from 2000 to 2002. It ran 25 issues. And so he did the art and the stories, and it's fantastic. I first picked up issue number 5 because I heard that it was a silent issue. I like the silent issues, and I really recommend you pick that one up if you can find it. It's fantastic. It's a battle to the death between Orion and Darkseid. There's only like 2 words spoken the whole story. And if you look at the spectators watching this battle, you can see all the different people that Jack Kirby created in the stands. It's really great. So after I got that, I started looking for these, and I hardly ever see them. Now, when I see them, they're usually not that much. They're like $1 or $2. But most stores, when you get to the O, there's no Orions. And so I'm very, very slowly picking these up. And this store had 4 issues, and I grabbed 3 of them. I grabbed issue number 4, and I grabbed issue number 17, and I grabbed issue number 20. And I didn't mention this, but on number 4, some of the issues you can see right here, just like how Thor had Tales of Asgard, there's some backup stories in some of these called Tales of the New Gods. And the art's Walt Simonson. It's fantastic. And he's a good storyteller too. So they're really great. From the box up front, I picked up the IW reprint of Danger is Our Business. And so one of the cool things about IW reprints is they always put different covers on it. And this is a reprint of a Toby Press series, Danger in Our Business, Danger is Our Business, that ran 3 issues. And this is a reprint of issue number 1. And what's really interesting about this cover is that the basis of this cover doesn't come from Danger's Our Business. It comes from a series called Parole Breakers. I think it was issue number 4. I'll drop the cover in here and I'll put the issue number. I think it was issue number 4. But you can see that they took the cover of Parole Breakers and then modified it a little. It's a great cover. I really like finding those IW reprints. Something that's odd about them is the numbering system. For instance, this is number 9, Danger's Our Business number 9. This is the only reprint of Danger is Our Business that they did. There's no other numbers of it. Now, this Nick Cardy Aquaman cover, I'm so happy to have this. It's issue number 23, and I'm trying to put together this run. And you could do it for not a lot of money. These are really heavily undervalued comic books. There's an issue which is the first appearance of Black Manta, first appearance of Ocean Master, first appearance of Mera. They're a little bit pricey. Everything else, not so. This one blew my mind. I got this for $12. It's in really nice shape. And look what it says right across the top. It's the birth of Aqua Baby. So this is the first appearance of Arthur Curry Jr., and it's only $12. To me, that blows my mind. And it's a great Nick Cardy cover. So I was really happy to find that one. That's one of the few that I was missing. I found a couple of cool promo comics. This one is one I've been looking for. Um, Never see it. I think it's pretty scarce. This is Little Abner and the Creatures from Drop Outer Space. And this is a Golden Age promo comic about the Job Corps. And so drop outer space, dropouts, high school dropouts, juvenile delinquents. And this basically shows you, like, why you should, get a job and be a constructive member of society. Something cool about this, when you open up the inside cover, there's a letter from Little Abner, and it's typed, but it's as he would be speaking it. So it's spelled incorrectly, but through how words would be pronounced, but not spelled correctly. And it talks about Al Cap, and it says that Al Cap, who wrote this story, knows what he's talking about, because when he was a kid, he stole a car, and he got caught by the police. It says that he said that stealing the car was the easy part, but not getting caught was the hard part. And he was a juvenile delinquent, and they were trying to set him straight, and he needed to get a job, and so he knows what he's talking about. So that's really cool. Now, my comic shop, if you look this up on my comic shop and their notes, it says that this is one of two comics that Frank Frazetta did the cover art and the interior. There's a jungle comic that he did as well, and it says this is the only other one. But if you go to the Grand Comic Database, it says Frank Frazetta didn't do it. So I don't know. I also found this one, Al Cap's Little Abner Joins the Navy. And this is one that I've been looking for a while too. I couldn't believe when I pulled both of these out. And this one was only $4. Blew my mind. This is a promo comic from the United States Navy. And so they gave this out at recruiting centers. Al Cap's Little Abner Joins the Navy. So I was really happy to find that. And when I go back, I'll be picking up some more Little Abners, because they had about 10 or 20 issues, low grade, but complete issues of Al Cap's Little Abner, the Toby Press run, and the Harvey run. So I'm going to try to pick some of those. I couldn't take everything because of financials, but that's what I got. And then I snagged this off of the wall. And normally I wouldn't buy a comic book like this in the slab. I might pop it out, but this is Santa Claus Parade #2. There were only two issues in this series. It's by Ziff Davis from 1952. But I was able to purchase this for just a little bit more than the price of slabbing a comic. So I thought that was a good deal, and it's very beautiful. It says it's a 6.0 with white to off-white pages, but it's really a beautiful looking comic. It's in great shape. And so it caught my eye, and I took that. But the big book I got at this store was up on the wall. I had about 4 or 5 books I was interested on the wall, but this one was the best deal, and I needed this. This is Tales of Suspense #47. So I've been trying to put a run of Tales of Suspense together from Iron Man #39 up. Now 39, I think, is going to be, I'm going to have to stick with the facsimile or the Marvel Milestone reprint, because it's kind of gotten out of range for me. But I have most of them. I only need about 3 or 4 more between 39 and this number. And so I saw this there. It was a great price. It's in good condition. It's Tales of Suspense #47. And this is the first appearance of the Melter. And it's Iron Man in his gold suit. I'd like to get all of those with his gold suit, and I'm honing in on it. So I was really happy That was the big purchase of the weekend. What do you think about that? Pretty cool. And then I just got some mail yesterday, and so I opened these boxes today. And then earlier, I looked outside my front door. The way my house is set up is the garage is the way that I come in, and that's where when the mailman comes up the driveway, they get by the garage first, and then you have to walk along this path towards the other side of the house to come in the front door. So most of the time, all my boxes from UPS, FedEx, the post office get left right against the garage door. But sometimes I have different postal clerks and deliveries, and they'll put them by the front door. So sometimes I forget to check. So I had a couple of packages yesterday by the garage, and then for some reason I opened the front door today. There were two there. I'm not sure when they were delivered, but I opened them, and this is Hanna-Barbera's Dynamite #1. And do you remember that cartoon? I remember watching that cartoon when I was a kid. And Dynamite was kind of this kind of like a robotic Scooby-Doo, how I thought of him. I purchased this one off of Instagram from that comic book guy, and Tyler from the Comic Couple on Instagram. He told me, to check out this guy's sales, and I bought a couple of things from him so far. This is one of them, and I got this I paid $15 for it, but on my comic shop, there's like a 6.5 or 7.0 copy for like $65. So it's not cheap. I think I got a good deal on that. Now, this is really something interesting. I bought a comic book from Hong Kong. I've seen these on eBay. Every so often, these Hong Kong comics will come up, and I can't read Chinese, so I'm not going to be able to read this comic book, but I've been interested in seeing one in person to see what it was like. So recently, and they're usually pretty expensive, but recently somebody listed them, and they were not expensive. They were like $20 or something. And one of them had a Christmas cover. So I thought, that's cool. I'll just grab that one. I can't read it, but it's got a cool Christmas cover. So here it is. This is the Hong Kong comic. And it's got a pretty cool Christmas cover. And it's the same cover on the front and the back. And I open it up, and there's 4 panels on each page. And it's monotone color inside. Like, you open up the first page, I think it was like a brownish color, and then no, green, and then you flip the next page, it's kind of like a purple monotone, and then it goes back and forth between green and purple. So I probably can understand the story from the pictures, since it's just 4 panels, but I can't read the Chinese. This one also I just opened this up today, and this is Sparky. So he's that fire dog. He's that mascot about fire prevention. And this is from 1955. It's a promo comic. And I believe that this is the first appearance of Sparky in comics. Now, this comic book has been reprinted over the years. So you'll see the same cover, like in a 1961 edition, maybe a 1959 edition. This is the 1955 edition. This is a low-grade, dirty comic that could use a little bit of a dry cleaning, but pretty cool to have that. So, and lastly, this is the last comic that arrived, and this is from my comic shop. It was a new listing, and it was making an offer. So I negotiated with this guy, and I got this for a good deal. Here's Planet Comics #58. And so I think this is my first and only issue of Planet Comics. I believe that's a Doolin cover. If I'm wrong, I'll drop in what it is here. But I've seen this on other channels. I think Alan has shown this one. Somebody's shown it. I think Alan. I know he's got a lot of Planet Comics, so he probably did. but this cover was either swiped from a pulp or the pulp swiped it from here. I'm thinking this was swiped from the pulp because weren't the pulps older than the comics, but I'm not 100% sure. But isn't that a beautiful comic? I do like the Planet comics that a lot of people show, and this one is just so cool with the good girl riding that, kind of snowmobile tank looking thing, and this guy with the sword, and you can see the X-ray bones and the colors, the greens and the yellows, the blue background is just killer. So I really was excited when I saw that one, and I was able to negotiate with the guy. So that's my haul for this video. I hope you like it. Tell me which ones you like, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.